Welcome to Opinions Like Ales, everybody, your favorite pop culture podcast where we have opinions and most of them stink. My name is Michael Zampino. With me, as always, is Hilton Price.
Recovering from the most Friday night late show that has ever Friday night late showed. It is a Saturday morning as we record last night. I am performing this week at the beautiful Looney Bin Comedy Club in the heart of South Tulsa. And last night's Friday night late show, they must have learned ahead of time what Friday night late show is about, because they were... I didn't always believe that myth.
That's why Steve Martin quit stand-up.
And that is just the toughest night of the week. Mm-hmm. The toughest show of the week.
Right.
Because you've got a crowd
Friday early show is usually...
show Friday was fire. It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
That one's a crap show. A lot of times it's great, sometimes not. But Friday late show is almost a guarantee.
It's almost a guarantee that it'll be bad. And it's not even that it's bad. It's that the crowd is either tired or drunk or both
or mad or
because I swear the 30 people that made it to last night's show, and we've had packed shows all week at the Looney Bin, including Wednesday, which is not easy.
Right.
We probably had 100 or more on Wednesday. It was a great show, great week. Richard Reese,
100 people in a crowd on a Wednesday night is a good gig.
Yeah. And so
especially in Oklahoma.
So when Friday Night Late Show was just this nonsense, I'm just like, okay, well, thank fucking God, because I didn't know where I was. It's nice to know that I am back home at a comedy club.
Yeah, you need the humble set.
Yeah.
And the ego check.
But I don't think they didn't like us. I just think they just weren't clearly receptive. I
definitely feel like there's a weird phenomenon where suddenly a large contingent of people who do not know each other will all just be like, I'm in a shitty mood. Let's go to the comedy club, and it'll make me not in a shitty mood, except I'm going to make them work for it.
Yeah. Because I think they all enjoyed the show.
It's like they're spitefully like, make me laugh.
Well, no, it's just, I think you just hit a point in your day, and I think it's Friday night about funny. 10 o'clock, where funny doesn't elicit laughter.
Yeah.
Funny, like inside, you're like, that was great. I really enjoyed that. Very smart, very funny.
You get a lot of,
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, and it was one of the crowds that was like, silence.
Next.
Know? Yeah, exactly. I know half of our 2 guests this week understand that very well.
50% of our guests understand. Actually, the other one probably knows it similarly but different. It's similar but different when you're playing music.
Is it?
Yeah, the best thing about music, though, is that you can sort of drown out the not paying attention and all that by just playing and kind of getting in your own pocket, so to speak.
And the nice thing about music is I feel like you at least you play a good song, you're still playing a good song.
Always.
Like I'm telling a good joke, but if they don't like it, maybe it's not a good joke.
Yeah, exactly.
C.R. Parsons, Kevin Price are here this week. Hey, guys.
Hello.
Hey, thanks for having us.
C.R. Parsons, you know as a many-time guest on the show and one of your favorite local comedians. But both he and Kevin are members of Kevin Price and the Closers.
Yep,
that is correct.
Nailed it.
And Kevin, you've been performing music for years now, and even before I knew you as a performer, you were on the periphery just because you're just connected with people, and you've always been part of projects.
Yeah, that's just something that's, I guess, just always been a part of my life. I grew up in a musical family, but I also grew up around people that, my dad was one of those guys that just knew everybody in town.
Yeah.
And I think it just kind of spilled over into me being the same way.
Yeah. And I mean, you and I think our paths first crossed. I think I was at a job application at somewhere where you were working at the time. And that's how we first met.
Interesting.
And it's just been fun to see you everywhere since then.
Exactly. And we share a last name, but yet we're not kin. We don't
don't think so.
No relation.
We've got a 23 in me, and we'll figure
that
out.
There you go. Exactly.
You have 23 in you.
Listen, it was a long week at the Looney Bin.
I really heard I've got 23 in me.
Not all at once.
No, that's just impossible.
In a row?
No one's that flexible.
What's that, Clerks? In a row? My girlfriend sucked 37 dicks.
And then, of course, Kevin and CR, you guys are both the kind of head MCs at Tulsa Oktoberfest now. You guys came up through the ranks. CR, you and I have been doing the MC thing for years. Kevin, you came in a couple years later. And you guys, like this past year, you guys were... You felt like the big men on campus to me. Like you guys were just kind of walking around, checking it out, making sure that the chill was there, and
Well, we've
Making
tried
sure
to,
nobody's throwing beer on anybody.
Exactly.
We've tried to make some changes in the MC
MCU?
stuff in the MCU at Oktoberfest. And part of how we did that was we implemented some new folks who are tent hosts, to help out the MC, because the MC's job really is to get up and make speeches, to make announcements, to introduce the band, all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. But then beyond that, their job is to make sure people are having fun.
Yeah.
Just be a party host. So we brought in some extra party hosts, and that makes the job even more fun and even more easy.
Yeah, fun and easy. And it's been, it really was, because, I've been doing the MC thing there just about as long as you, and it's been always been a great gig.
Yes.
But this past year, it ran so smooth.
Well, thank you.
And the energy was great.
Yeah, that's all thanks to me, not anything to do with Kevin.
Nope.
Kevin having taken over and now being in charge, and no, that's all my doing.
Well, I don't
appreciate
know
your-
that they actually meant for me to be in charge, because whenever I got contacted, they're like, "Hey, we want to do this, we want to do that." Whenever I walked in for the meeting, the kind of blank stares on their face, I was like, I think they called the wrong guy.
They thought it was someone else.
Yes. I walk in, they're like, "Oh, now we got to buy you coffee."
Yeah. They're like, but luckily they were like, well, he's here, so
Right.
let's see what he can do. And
Shit, I thought we were calling Kevin James.
oh, that's Kevin Price. Oh crap, I was way off.
And then they've called me CR at meetings, and I'm like, I think you still got the wrong guy.
Yeah,
That's so
I,
funny.
I love it. I don't even have to show up to meetings anymore because people just think he's me.
That explains it, because I think was it the last meeting, the last Oktoberfest meeting, because we have monthly meetings up there checking in and getting things ready, because Oktoberfest is a beast. I don't know if people know, Tulsa Oktoberfest is so big, it has so many moving parts that they're planning it from like the day after this year, they're planning next year.
Yeah, man, we jump on it immediately, and we do. I've talked to a bunch of people, and they are surprised that we do have monthly meetings, or even more often than that.
Yeah.
To get stuff, and we're already ordering tents in like February and March, and setting up for an October thing. That they don't realize that all the logistics it takes to put on a festival like that. That's one of the biggest in the country.
Yeah, one of the biggest in the country, and so popular here. Yeah. We've got friends like a friend of the show, my co-host over on the People Person Paper podcast, Brian Sittler. Not a guy who is always at every event in Tulsa, but damned if he does not come out to Oktoberfest every single year.
Right. Really?
It is just such a beloved thing that some people just hang on to it. And why wouldn't you? Great food, good beers, all kinds of fun stuff to do. It is a great time.
Absolutely. And it gets bigger and better every year. That's the thing that has blown me away about it, is every year they're doing something to make even a small improvement. And so it has yet, in my opinion, to have a year that it just stepped backwards and went, that wasn't as good as the year before.
Yeah, exactly. If it's not exactly on the same level, it is shooting far past it.
Exactly.
Man.
Yeah, fun.
And then you guys have been busy with the band.
Busy with the band.
Yeah, we stay pretty hooked up.
I feel like I'm seeing a new show every day when I look on Facebook. And that's great. That's what you want, right?
Yeah, you want a full calendar. I mean, it's just like anything else. When you're performing, you want to stay busy and stay active, because that keeps the creative juices flowing, and that spills over into songwriting. And then, like I say, now we're kind of getting into, I hate to call it touring, because we're just a local band, but we do go to Missouri and Arkansas and these places. And
Tour's a tour, baby.
yeah, tour's a tour. If you're staying in motels and staying away from the house, it's a tour.
Yeah, I remember kind of having that same feeling of being like, I don't know if I want to like call it a tour, and then being able to be like, you know what? No, fuck that. We deserve this. It is a tour. We put it together. We're doing it our fucking selves. Like, yeah, it's a goddamn tour.
Yeah.
You're playing 6 shows in a row and none of them are in your hometown. Yeah, it's a tour.
That's a tour.
That's a tour.
Yeah, exactly. But it's easy because, when you think about a tour, you think about some of the bands that you love, the biggest bands in the world, doing tours, playing stadiums, playing places where you may have had to fight to get tickets. And you forget that, yeah, that's a tour, but tour is a lot bigger than just that.
Yeah, there's a lot of other bands that you've never heard of that are also on tour.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
And the imposter syndrome sets in because of trying to compare yourself to a nationwide tour from a massive band, and it's like it doesn't have to be that. Just work, do the work.
Yeah, my tour's never going to be Katy Perry, but
Yeah, well, maybe it will. I don't know. I'm not going to sell you short.
Thanks.
You could Katy Perry.
Thank you. I am only 5'7", but I appreciate you not selling me short. We watched a couple trailers.
Yeah.
You want to get into those?
Absolutely.
Let's do.
Even if I'm not going to watch the first one.
You're not even a little bit.
It's called Expendables.
Expandables.
Expandables?
Yeah, because
See, I
it's
thought
about
that
it's about the cast.
I thought that was a Freudian slip when you said Expendables while we were watching the trailer, and I was like, no, it's just expanding their.
Yeah, they just expand the cast every movie.
Exactly.
Now I feel like it's getting to the point where they're bringing in new characters, much the way Street Fighter did.
Yeah,
where they're like, now there's a Native American one, and you can tell because his face is painted in a probably offensive manner at all times, always. And now there's a girl one.
Well, and I love it. The idea was that Expendables, of course, this is the fourth one. And the Expendables came out with the idea of breathing new life into these classic action heroes.
Right.
You know, the blowing stuff up, fighting the bad guy, saving the girl heroes from the 80s and 90s.
The Schwarzenegger, Stallone, Seagal, Van Damme, those
Norris
movies. Yeah, the Norrises.
And then even Bruce Willis, and it grew from there and started really incorporating anybody who even kind of had any kind of action connection.
Well, and in the first one, they were kind of winking at it too. They were like, we're making a very retro version of one of these movies, but we're also sort of poking fun at the genre.
Right. It was self-referential.
Yeah. And then I think now they're like trying to do it, but for real though.
It's
100.
You had that feeling, right?
It's one of those things where they have gone so far, and it's the same thing with the Fast and Furious movies. I really think they just need to combine the MCU, the Fast and Furious, and the Expendables universes into one.
Yeah.
Because, on Fast and Furious, they went to space.
Yeah, exactly.
And so basically...
In the last one, not even in the current one.
Yeah. Basically, they're superheroes at this point, so they could be in the MCU.
The problem with that is you have crossovers. Like Statham's in the MCU and the F and FU.
Well, who is he in the MCU? Statham.
I mean, not in the MCU, in the Expendables.
Oh, he is in the Expendables universe.
And
That's
he's
true,
in Fast and Furious. So
Yeah.
you're like, is he going to be Hobbs or is he going to be whoever the fuck he is in this movie?
That's true. Or Stallone is he was in the Guardians movie. He
Yeah,
was
that's
something
true.
like that, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, there's crossover.
The
for
Rock?
sure. Mm-hmm.
No, I guess he wasn't
Hey.
in MCU.
That just makes for cheaper casting. You get two characters out of one actor.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah. Well, and obviously now the MCU is already doing this multiverse thing where you got multiple versions of people. So why can't one actor play multiple parts?
There you go.
They already had quick spoiler for Ant-Man 3 for those who haven't seen it, but in one of the post-credit scenes, you see Jonathan Majors playing more than one person as the different versions of Kang. And of course they may have to recast that entirely, but that's a topic for another show.
Jonathan, God damn it.
Yeah.
We talked him up so much about how good he was.
The whole world talked him up.
I mean, he's a very talented actor, but at the same time, he fucked up.
And at the same time, that is exactly how this should happen. This should happen. If someone is impressive in their line of work, they should be celebrated. If we learn bad things about them, we should shut the fuck up. And if those eventually prove to be false, we should shout their merits again. I mean, that's kind of the system working, right? I mean, who's Tom Haverford on Parks and Rec?
Aziz Ansari.
Didn't that happen to him?
Aziz, I'm sorry.
Like he was huge.
Yeah,
we heard some shit.
He was canceled for a bad date.
Yeah, but then we all were like, okay, it was just a bad date.
Right.
And now he's I don't feel like he's canceled anymore.
No.
So.
No, I don't know how much he's working, but
I don't think he would have any trouble filling a room.
Oh, no.
No, he did do a special after that.
Yeah. Well, and I'll tell you, even does being canceled keep you from filling a room? I mean,
Not really.
especially
If you're big enough, it doesn't.
Yeah.
If you're at my level, it would.
that's true. If we get canceled,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
Of course, the question is, who knows if I'm canceled?
Yeah. Right.
But
all 12 people that follow me on Facebook would know that I was canceled. But
But
that's
like
it.
that like Roseanne could go to Lubbock and fill a room right now.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Roseanne could come to Tulsa and fill a room.
Sadly,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah,
that sucks.
Chappelle's one who seems like he's always at the center of controversy.
He's always on the verge of cancellation.
Well, I mean,
he's in my world. He
has tens of thousands of people who would probably never give him the time of the day for some of the things he's said in recent specials. But
sure.
he has just as many, if not more, people who will still
defend
support
him to the death,
if not defend his right to say those things. So who cares? In the end, I don't have to listen to him because I'm not super into Chappelle lately.
Sure.
But if you're into him, fucking A, go nuts.
He definitely lost me at I'm Team Turf.
Yeah, sure.
Not fun.
But the Expendables,
Expendables.
My biggest issue with that is how much farther and farther away we get from action heroes. Like 50 Cent and Megan Fox are both fine, but
they started doing that on the last one. You got Kelsey Grammer in there. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
Kelsey Grammer, known for action movies.
No, not at all. Not at all.
You know what we got to get in here?
Although I'll be honest, I haven't seen it. So did he have any action scenes, or was he just Kelsey Grammer as a?
I'll tell you how we up.
Like, was he their accountant?
Right, exactly.
We've got Randy Couture in here. We've got MMA superstars. We've got Terry Crews. We've got all these guns in here. We got Dolph Lundgren. Somebody get me fucking Frazier.
Well, you know what it was, though? They were like, listen, all of these guys.
We need a smart guy.
Well, no, it's just that all these guys that are so quick to resort to violence and punching, they need therapy. They need Dr. Frazier Crane.
Dr. Kelsey Grammer.
Wait, did he come on as Dr. Crane or did he come on as Beast?
There you go.
Beast is a massive action hero.
So yeah, if they painted him blue
and a smart guy,
yes, he is.
Very
he
smart.
can do both.
That's it.
That's why they got Kelsey.
Looking at that
They were
roster,
like,
though, it's
Kelsey does his own stunts.
It's more actually called the Expendables. You're just extending careers that probably should have ended a long time ago.
Well, and that was another. That was kind of the
giving them where they shouldn't have one.
Right.
Randy Couture, like, we love you, buddy, but not an actor.
Yeah, same. Like I don't have a big problem with Megan Fox, but in this new one, didn't we give up on her? Like, didn't she do like 3 Transformers and we were like, nah, we're cool. Like, but I mean, whatever.
I can never give up on her.
Well, she's a very, very pretty girl. that trailer.
I hate how attracted I am to Megan Fox.
The first half of that trailer was not Expendables. It was like a War of the Roses.
It was, it was very much like just centered on the two of them, on Statham and Fox.
What was the movie years ago with a husband and wife that both turned out to be spies?
Brad
Night
Pitt.
and Day,
Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yeah.
It gave me Mr. and Mrs. Smith vibes
That's
the
it.
entire
That's it.
time.
Yep.
That's all I could see.
Yeah, where you're like, you can't tell, are they fighting or fucking?
Well, and I feel like that's what it was. Like that trailer, they were just like, do we want to do a classic Expendables trailer where we show all of our heroes blowing stuff up? And we could just show Statham and Fox rolling around.
Just give Megan Fox a minute and a half of the 2-minute trailer.
Yeah, it was weird.
I mean, good marketing decision,
I guess.
This is not as much an action movie as it is a rom-com at this point.
Yeah, that's kind of what that first half felt like. Or just it was very sexy. Like it was way too sexy.
Then they cut to they're like, oh, we forgot, we got to show the other people, and they go to a little scene with 50 Cent and Dolph Lundgren, and Dolph Lundgren's got his glasses on, and 50 Cent makes a joke about like, hey, do your eyes work good enough for gun?
Yeah.
And Dolph Lundgren's like, it's okay, I got a prescription scope.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha, good joke, blah blah blah. And then 50 Cent goes, hey, look at his face, don't shoot it by accident. And I'm like, is this a bad vision joke or a racist joke?
That's exactly what I thought.
I could
too.
not tell.
I'm like,
I was like, part of it felt like an innocent bad vision joke.
Right.
Yep.
Like if that joke was made by Kelsey Grammer's character, you
would've
know
never
it's
had
a
a
bad
question.
vision joke.
Right.
Exactly.
But the idea of mistaking an identity.
Look at this face. Don't shoot me on accident.
Yeah, it unfortunately also plays into a racial stereotype, which is kind of the weird thing, to touch back on, the issue of canceled and our sensitivity as a culture. It's kind of a weird thing that we have to deal with now, where we have to kind of question, wait, was there an extra layer, and do I have to feel a certain way about that?
Oh, for sure. There's constant times where I'm like, oh, okay, wait, can we still laugh at that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll tell you guys a quick story. I'm working on a new bit. And I talked a little bit about this with you and Brian.
Bits.
Wrote in my notebook, new bits.
There you go.
I've got a new bit, and it's based on a thing that really happened to me. In that, if you're on a lot of social media and you're a guy, sometimes you'll get hit up by people. I think mostly real people, but you never know. As sex work solicitation,
right?
Like
hey,
I get hit up by cam girls.
That has never happened to me.
Does it really not?
Never.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Not once. I get scam messages a lot.
Yeah, see, I don't get a
But
ton of
I've
those.
never once gotten the sexy time message.
Well, I'll tell you,
Wow.
it almost exclusively happens to me on Snapchat, and you're not on Snapchat, are you?
Nope.
Yeah, see, Snapchat, I get friended by girls, or they, claiming to be girls.
SnatchChat.
SnatchChat, exactly.
Yeah.
And
Exactly it.
and I'm not, no hate for sex work. It's just not something I'm looking
Sex
for
work is
at this
work.
time, yeah. But so I tend to just ignore it.
Right.
But they send a lot of messages because they're trying to get me, and I mean I look like a mark. I get it. That's cool.
Mark ass buster.
Mark ass buster. But this girl, the messages started very G-rated,
Right.
And,
Oh,
and,
yeah, I
and after
remember
like the third one, it got so racy that it's funny. Like how fast it went from like, "Hey, will you give me some love?" to like, "This is what my body parts sound like when I'm doing this," and it's like, okay.
Can I try and remember the quote?
No, you cannot. No, you cannot. You cannot steal my stage bit for our podcast.
Oh, okay. That's
Not
why
put
you're
my
doing
best
it.
shit on the internet.
I do remember what it was, and it was very
good.
funny.
Oh, yeah?
We'll tell you off mic.
But in trying to get laughs from this, the part of my brain that's trying to be a little more socially conscious popped up and was like, "Oh shit, is it okay to keep getting the free messages?" And because they typically come with videos, she's often
Right.
showing off her wares,
Right.
And it's like, is that okay? I'm wasting this woman's time because I have no intent on ever buying any services from her.
You have no intent on buying any vagina from this person.
I'm not looking to rent any vagina time. So or cam time or whatever, because she's pushing to her OnlyFans.
I'm only teasing.
But then I remember too, like, listen, I'm not replying to her. I'm not leading her on. I'm not saying, "Hey, baby, show me more." So
Yeah,
but
it's just the silly things they say, and you've already.
But I wanted to make sure that I wasn't just being an asshole.
Yeah.
In trying to get the bit.
Well, I think that once you see that same spiel repeated in different phone numbers, that's when you know, like, you're not wasting anybody's time.
And that's what it was when I finally learned
Yeah.
that when I started getting the exact same messages from different
in
people.
sequential order.
Yeah, it was like, oh, okay, this is
That was where it was the most surprising.
Yeah.
It was literally like same thing,
Yeah.
same order.
yeah.
I had that happen on Facebook with apparently I found a lost dog.
Oh.
Actually, I found two in the same day, apparently.
Wow.
Yeah, because
You didn't know that you did?
No, I did not realize
That's
I had
tight.
found a lost dog.
That's cool, man.
But two women.
I can't wait to play
both
with this dog.
Yeah, exactly. Two women, both with their boobs hanging half out on Facebook, messaged me the same day. And we had almost the same conversation because apparently they had been out of town and I found their dog and they were going to come pick it up. But there was some problem with that. And so it was going to be tomorrow. And it was a whole thing. And I was just having fun messaging back and forth. And I was carrying on two different conversations while they were carrying on the exact same conversation.
Wow. That's wild.
And it was weird because I would say something and I would say two different things to both of them that I would expect to get two different responses.
You'd get the same one.
I would get the same response, but as I would read the response, I'd go, weirdly enough,
It
that
is
works
kind
with
of resp- yeah.
both.
Wow.
How does that...
That is next level.
Yeah, I'm like, these AI chicks are getting smart.
Yeah, I never get the sex ones. I get ones like this where it says, "Annie, I'm Naomi. Did you see the costume design I sent you?"
Yeah.
To which I respond, "Yeah, and it sucks shit."
On Facebook, one thing I've been seeing lately is in the buy and sell groups. Like the one I see it the most in is the Things for Sale in Tulsa group. Is I'll see these scam messages where it's either the "we need people to stuff boxes at Amazon, $40 an hour, DM me for more info." And those are almost always a scam.
Right.
And the other one is the "we are blessing people. Say thumbs up in the comments and I will send you a link to get, free money or whatever."
Yeah.
And I just tear into these people in the comments, just like you deserve cancer, like just the most vile thing I can think of. Because to try and make it clear just what scum these are, because the amount of people that respond like, "Oh, I want to be blessed, thumbs up," is insane.
Yeah,
like the amount of folks that are falling for this is scary right now.
Well, and what's scary is it's not just the old folks that are falling for this. You know, it used to be scammers would go after old folks because old folks didn't know better, because they had gotten out of the loop and they were easy to fool.
Yep.
And now the scammers are so good at it, if you will, that they feel comfortable going after everybody. So they're going after all ages. My grandson gets scam messages on his social medias.
My son gets them on his it's funny though, because Rhett's a chip off the old block.
Oh, is he?
Oh yeah, he'll fuck with them. It's really fun. He'll either completely ignore it or he'll like send back one or two like just troll messages.
Yeah,
it's really funny.
Well, and I mean, like,
do you get? I'm sorry.
I was going to say, this must be a one-sided conversation, one side of the table, because I don't get any of this stuff.
You get nothing.
Do you get like scams at all?
No.
Wow, that's
No.
great.
I need your phone.
I see them like in some of the groups that I'm in on Facebook, like the musician stuff and all
And
that.
they'll share,
They'll be like,
pictures.
"Oh yeah, here's put up a picture of like a $10,000 guitar," and they're like, "My son passed away, so I want to gift this to somebody." And it's always the same person, or it's the same guitar, and you see it over and over, and then they just keep trying to lure people into this whole.
You're like, nobody in the world's gifting that 60 whatever Les Paul.
Exactly, it's a gold top Les Paul, and well, I'm just going to give it away. Yeah, sure.
67. Is that a popular year?
Don't ask me.
I feel like it was.
Probably.
I mean, 67 was
67 drop top Les Paul.
Yeah.
You just throw in car things.
Yeah.
67, 68, whatever it takes.
67 drop top Les Paul custom with a Hemi. Oh, that's good stuff. Hilton's like, I don't know, that could be part of a guitar.
No, I'm just playing a hunch here. No,
That you might have got a new one.
I thought you were playing Candy Crush.
no.
Candy Hunch. It's Candy Crush, but with a detective element.
Yeah.
I got a candy hunch.
Oh man, but yeah, no, Expendables ain't taking me. I'm not.
not even a little bit. This will be one where, like, whenever it's streaming, I might, like, on a day where I'm bored and high as hell, just like put it on and laugh about it.
I liked the first one.
Oh, I had a great time watching the first one, and it's bad.
Yeah,
it's terrible, but it's
explosion.
Fun.
It doesn't try to be good. I mean, is it even bad? Because it's very simple in the plot and storyline, and it's executed fine. It's just not a bold movie. It's not.
I mean, it's bad in that whole plot and that whole thing in and of itself is kind of dumb and bad.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But they, like I said, in the original, they at least were kind of knowing and doing that purposefully, and, saying like, we know this is only for fun.
I thought the second one was okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't terrible.
I don't know if I saw it or not. I can't remember.
Same.
I feel like I did, but I have zero memory.
Well, I don't actually remember it, but I remember seeing it and going, okay, that was okay.
That's great.
And that's probably why I haven't seen 3, is because nothing
I can't remember 2, so why would I bother with 3?
Yeah.
I've never seen any of them, and I think it's just because I have so little free time because of all the other things I do.
Brag. I'm just kidding.
Well, exactly. It's like I wish it was bragging, but it's like,
you're like, I want to watch the Expendables.
I would probably kill for time to like watch movies like that are kind of like mindless entertainment, just to kind of free myself from all the other things I have on my plate.
I'll tell you what, man. If you ever do have like just an afternoon where there's nothing going on and you're by yourself, like,
take a nap. Actually,
you know what?
Take a nap.
Whatever you
They're
so good. Take a nap.
Yeah.
Put on the Expendables and drift off to sleep.
There it is.
Duly noted. I will.
Because you're a husband and father as well, and your son or your kids are involved in sports. So you're always busy with that as well.
Oh yeah. Damn.
I'm the unintentional coach of a soccer team.
Okay.
Unintentional.
Yeah, totally.
That's the
I
plot
never.
of Ted
Nobody
Lasso,
nobody else was. Yeah, nobody else was there to fill the spot.
Yeah,
That is exactly what happened. I played hockey growing up, which is weird for Tulsa, Oklahoma, I assume. But I never played the sport of soccer.
My son played hockey.
Really? Oh, dude, it's the greatest sport ever.
Yeah, I love hockey.
I just had to figure out how to transition my knowledge of that into soccer.
It is strikingly similar. just with more players and a little bit. Soccer's got more players and more rules.
Yes.
Okay.
And not nearly as much ice.
Right. Well, and it's a lot more spread out. Hockey's a lot more like, the hockey rinks is very condensed. And that's why there's a lot less players, but that's why there's a lot more contact.
It's a lot faster.
Yeah.
Is
a lot less flopping.
That's actually
a lot less flopping in hockey.
There's no flopping in hockey.
No.
I honestly don't know if I've ever seen a flop in hockey.
I have never seen a flop in hockey.
the fuck is a flop?
Well,
A flop is like, say you and I are playing and you have the ball, right?
None of this sounds feasible.
Hold on. Hear me out.
Okay.
Pretend.
Hear
Got
me
it,
out.
got it,
You're
got
a
it.
different person,
Okay.
okay, that likes sports.
Oof, gonna be hard.
And we're playing a sport.
Oof, this is a bit of a stretch.
So we're both going for the ball, right? And then we sort of kind of run into each other.
That's the only part
in
so far that
doing
sounds
so,
believable.
but then in doing so, I go,
Oh.
and fall down in an attempt to get a penalty called on you.
That's called a flop? There's a
Yeah.
name for that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
it ought
awesome.
to be called getting an Oscar because some of these soccer players are so good at it, they will fool you right up until you watch it in slow motion and you realize, wait, they never touched.
Yeah.
They weren't even close to each other.
Meanwhile, this guy's rolling on the ground, writhing around, holding his knee, and
You should just pull up like a flop compilation.
they bring out a
sports-
stretcher,
just write, like,
haul
sports
him off,
flop.
and then 3 minutes later, he's back in the game.
Oh, it's so funny sometimes, like how over the top they are.
Oh, yeah.
Say, make sure you put in soccer flop, because if you just put in flop, there's no telling what you're going to see.
Fair. Good call, Kevin.
Yeah, let's thank
Way
you.
to save the search history.
That's a dad for you.
Hey, don't just type in flop, son. You're going to fuck up your search
Yeah.
history. Oh, man.
And head to head.
Oh, wow.
See.
I love he waits to see the reaction. Oh, he's flopping. I'll flop
I better
too.
do it too.
And he pushes him first. Like before he reacted, he gave him a little bit. Also, he kind of looks like Corey Feldman.
Watch this.
Not a touch.
Whoa! Hey, he got me. They do it in basketball too. It drives
Oh,
me
yeah.
nuts.
And they all know
I
they're
hate
doing it.
Oh,
Not
yeah,
all of
everybody
them.
knows.
I mean,
Everybody knows
It's a great
going on.
Leonard Cohen song.
Yeah, we call them the soccer snipers, because it's like these guys all got hit by a sniper. They just drop. Like, oh, there's a sniper on the hill. Okay, yeah, you just took out another player.
back and to the left.
Yeah.
Back and to the left.
There you go.
As you can see here, back
Look at this.
Ready?
and to the left.
Bang.
Nobody touched him.
Back and to the offsides.
He's like, oh, he tripped me.
That's amazing.
I
Yeah.
know.
That's like if a ghost was playing. And
Yeah,
tripped
these
him.
are like World Cup level players that are like pretending and doing all this.
Well, here's the thing is a lot of us who took theater in college don't get to use any of those skills in our current job. So it's nice to see that some guys can.
When it hurts.
But he's still like, oh, what, did he get hit in the face?
No,
Okay.
he didn't. He,
I know,
He
He
actually
elbowed
did
the
the
other guy.
elbow.
He hit the other guy in the chest with his own elbow, and then pretended to his face hurt.
There's a sniper again. He got him.
Slight head touch. Oh, he's down. Oh, the pain.
I've been murdered. Referee, I've been murdered.
I have never watched soccer.
You're going to
I'm still
now?
not sure I have, honestly.
Does this make you want to more or less?
No change.
Okay. You know what?
No
I'll
change.
take that.
Just as much or
Still
not.
just as neutral as you
As
were.
before.
Apathetic to sports as you
Yeah.
ever were. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
But I'm less threatened by athletes, frankly. You know,
Are you just a hockey guy mostly, or do you keep up with any other sports?
No, I'm a huge college football fan.
Okay.
Pro football.
NBA?
Not really. Damn, I've never been.
I was
okay.
this close, Hilton.
sorry,
I was
buddy.
so
Sorry.
close.
You've got there are others.
I
for
grew
you.
up in the Michael Jordan era, so it was like,
You had
kind
to
of-
like it some.
yeah. I mean, I
Back then.
loved the Bulls back then.
Yeah.
Just now, it's kind of this whole flopping thing. I can't follow it. And
Oh, man.
I think there's
I still love the NBA. so much.
Yeah.
I get it though. Like, yeah, there is a lot of like flopping and shit, but I feel like it's one of the better sports organizations out there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll take the NBA over the NFL all day long.
Okay. What about FIFA?
FIFA?
Yeah.
FIFA can fuck it fucking ass. Fuck its fucking ass.
Fuck its fucking ass.
Yeah.
That's fair.
That seems that's what FIFA stands for.
Fuck FIFA, fuck
its fucking ass.
especially fuck the PGA now. Like double fuck the PGA now. You heard about that shit, right?
What, so they're joining with some Saudi company? Is that what it
Live
is?
Golf.
It's a little bit deeper than that because for over a year they were trying to sue for antitrust because Live was basically like a non-compete thing they were claiming.
Yeah.
And Liv was basically poaching all of the PGA players by giving them more money. But the one thing to remember is that all of the money, the Liv money we're talking about, is blood money provided by the Saudi government and Mohammed bin Salman.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. The person who killed an American journalist and nothing happened, and we're still like, money, please. So for a year, the PGA was like, fuck Liv. They're dirty. They're crooked. Everything about them is bad. And then the end of the year hit, and Liv was like, yeah, but what about if I gave you like $40 billion?
Yeah.
And the PGA was like, JK, we love Liv.
It's amazing
We
how
love
the
them.
bottom line of an account statement can influence such
Exactly.
things.
Well, and the worst part about it is not the corruption.
It was the
mind.
grandstanding before it. And
Yeah.
like, we're so above this.
Well, and it's the unabashedness about it. Like to go from that to this, and obviously I'm just learning this. There's plenty of details I'm sure I'm not privy to, but that no one seems the need to keep these actions covert anymore.
No.
They're happy to just do it in the public eye, maybe because they trust that the news cycle will move so fast it'll move on, or that they fear that the backlash or they feel the backlash won't be bad enough to care.
There was a clip of the commissioner of the PGA at one point in an interview talking about how, yeah, I can't understand how anybody could in good conscience take money from these people because they did 9/11. He's basically like, it was something along, I'm obviously paraphrasing, but it was basically something along the lines of taking money from these people is a slap in the face to the families of 9/11 survivors and victims. And then he took their money. And it's such fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't mind slapping him in the face at that
Yeah,
point.
he slapped them right in the face.
Yeah.
Well, and I listen, here's the
disgusting.
thing is I understand that sometimes people who are not into physical play can get into that. But that's a completely different conversation.
Yes,
for
it is.
sure.
Yes, it is.
I already kind of had my beef with golf in that it is a pretty racist sport in and of its entire existence, but
Well,
that's a
I
whole
will
different
say
story.
part of what I didn't know all the background, don't know all the background. I did watch some live golf, and it made golf fun.
Oh no.
Which unfortunately, that's sad to know that was where it all came from. But the PGA is so stuffy and boring and just
White.
yeah. I mean, very white and very whitewashes everything.
Yeah. On
And
purpose.
Whereas Live Golf, it was like, what's that tee over in Arizona? The whole
16th hole at the Waste Management Open.
Yeah, 16th hole at Waste Management Open. It's this notorious party. They put up these grandstands. Everybody gets drunk, yells at the golfers. Nobody stays quiet. It's just loud and obnoxious, and it's fun. It's Happy Gilmore golf.
How about this?
Well, that's what Live Golf was the entire day.
Wow.
I'd be able to forgive that if it was like funded by like Vince McMahon.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know, like,
Yeah.
okay, fine, have your fun. But yeah, the Saudi money, I'm like, it can be fun all you want, but I can't support it.
Yeah, I get that.
It'd be
I
like
get that completely.
Jeffrey Epstein starting some sort of professional sports league.
Yeah.
Or having
whatever.
anything to do with children.
Yeah, youth soccer.
Youth sports
Soccer
league.
league.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucked up, man. It's really fucked up, and they shouldn't have taken that money. And fuck that. We also watched the trailer for Elio.
Yeah, Elio.
a
from
movie
Disney
about
Pixar.
kidnapping.
Yeah, you're
Right,
right.
exactly.
My
abduction.
first thought was in the beginning of the movie was like, I know this kid's gonna go on a fun adventure and stuff,
Right.
but like, man, we're really glossing over how panicked and fucking scared his family is.
This mom is about to have the worst couple days of her life.
Exactly. Like the mom in Big. Oh, that poor woman.
Yeah.
I forget the actress's name who just fucking destroyed that role. She was so good.
Yeah.
The mom in Big.
I've never seen Big.
You've never
You've
seen
never
Big?
seen Big?
No, I've not.
I think we had this
Oh.
conversation before.
Definitely.
But yeah, they're like, I mean, they kind of give you a little bit of like her fear and panic and
Right.
all that stuff. But yeah, they're definitely not going to give you any of that in this movie.
No, not at all. In fact, they set it up. That his mom-
Mercedes rule. How could I have forgotten
there you go.
Mercedes rule?
Okay, sure, yeah.
Yeah, in fact, they set it up so that you know that mom's so busy, she's probably not going to notice for most of the movie.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah,
And then when she does, it'll be about the time he comes back.
yeah. Which it looks neat. The mom works for some kind of NASA style organization. She is learning that extraterrestrials, after years of humans sending signals out into space, extraterrestrials are contacting us with a message. They say, "Send us your leader." Right then, her son calls her on her cell phone, and through some confusion and maybe technological, who knows what, the aliens think the kid is the leader of Earth, and they go and get him.
Yeah, basically they're like, bring us your leader, and then she drops her phone while they're FaceTiming, and it hits the thing that makes it sync with the screens, and so they're like, oh, well, this must be the leader.
I love the
We're
fact
going
that-
to steal him.
I love the fact that the Council of Higher Intelligence Worlds
Yeah.
was so stupid that they thought the kid was the leader.
And that when they said, what's the name of your planet? He said, Earth. And they were like, are you the leader of Earth? Which, yeah, great, funny joke. Ha ha ha. But they're supposed to be super smart. Wouldn't they have already known the name of the planet?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Those fucking idiots.
Exactly. You've been observing us for this long, and that's what you come up with?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Although it does kind
Supposed
of
to be higher intelligence beings.
the idea of confusion because of what Earth is sending out is kind of a trope for alien movies. I mean,
Sure.
even going
Oh,
as
yeah.
back as far as, was it Explorers with the three kids that make the homemade rocket?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a great movie.
Ooh,
Yes, it
remember
is.
Flight of the Navigator?
Sure,
Yes.
that one. Elio reminds me of that because that's another situation where the kid's playing the game and he comes off as if he's a great star pilot.
No, that's not Flight of the
That's-
Navigator.
Oh, that's not Flight of the Navigator?
You're thinking of Starfighter.
The Last Starfighter.
The Last
You're right.
Starfighter.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, Flight of
Which
the
one's
Navigator is the one where the kid wanders into the spacecraft. And then the spacecraft comes to life and takes him on an adventure.
Okay.
And the spacecraft is sentient, and
I don't remember
there's
that
a
one.
bunch of little creatures in it and stuff.
Love a Creature.
Love a little creature.
It's all in his head.
Is it? Oh, is it? Is okay.
Was
Is
it?
Is it Saint
I don't
Elsewhere?
remember that part.
Does it end up?
Oh, okay. It's actually a Jacob's Ladder scenario. Okay. Because at the beginning of the movie, he wanders into the thing and it explodes, and the rest of the movie is what you're seeing in the moments
It's in
before
the
he
moments
dies.
of
In those microseconds before he dies, this
Yeah.
is the thoughts that go through his head.
Okay.
Have you ever actually seen Jacob's Ladder?
No, I have not.
Not since college.
That's what the
It's been
premise
forever.
of the movie is.
Oh, yeah?
Although maybe it was Flatliners. One of the two.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, Flatliners
Spoiler
was a
alert
good
for
movie.
Jacob's Ladder.
So if you haven't seen that 1989 classic,
That is now used to reference other scenarios in other movies. I saw on a podcast they were talking about speaking of Big, they were talking about the rap.
Oh, yeah?
And there was they played a clip from a talk show where Hanks was on there and he did the rap, and then he was talking about where it came from. And he was saying that it was a real thing that his son came back with from summer camp. And immediately they were like, oh, do you think it was Chet? Because I don't know if you guys know. Do you know about Chet Hanks?
No.
He's a douchebag.
Oh, yeah?
So much so that Tom Hanks is like really, really wants to be like, I don't know this guy.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, the
Chet
only one I
Hanks
knew was Colin.
sucks. No, I bet it was Colin because Chet's too young. I feel like Chet's too young for the timing to
yeah,
work out.
Colin was the actor.
Colin
Chet's
was-
the rapper.
But the rap from Big, that's what they were talking about, and that's why they were like, "Do you think it was Chet?"
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
It was Chet's first rap, but no, it was most likely Colin. But yeah, it was apparently a real thing from his summer camp.
That's too funny.
Yeah. Do you guys still have it memorized?
No. No, I have the piano part memorized, but not the rap. No, I mean the jumping around. I can.
You can actually.
I can actually jump around and play that.
Kick ass.
I actually went to FAO Schwartz in New York just for that purpose because I knew one of the parts to Heart and Soul.
Okay.
By jumping around on.
That's awesome.
I was a weird kid. Well,
Do you
I wasn't even that much of a kid when that came out. I was a weird person.
Fair.
So
we all still are. Yeah. Do you remember the rap?
No, I've never seen Big.
Downtown, baby, downtown, the roller coaster, sweet, sweet, baby, sweet, sweet, don't let me go. Shimmy, shimmy, cocoa pop, shimmy, shimmy, rock, shimmy, shimmy, cocoa pop, shimmy, shimmy, rock. I met a girlfriend, a Triscuit. She said a Triscuit, biscuit, ice cream and soda pop, vanilla on top. Ooh, Charlita, walking down the street 10 times a week. I met it, I said it, I stole my mama's credit. I'm cool, I'm hot. Suck you in the stomach 3 more times.
Well, I'm glad you guys could be here for
Flawless.
that.
You know what? Now that you've done it, I remember it exactly.
Yeah.
I did. That runs.
It's a deep core memory unlocked.
Well, that's one of those that runs through my head. I have songs run through my head all the time. But when somebody says something that reminds me of that, it runs through my head so quick.
Yeah.
But I had no memory of where it was from.
Oh, yeah. That's
no
big.
memory.
You thought
And it's
Nelly
great.
did it, right?
No, actually, if you had asked me, I would have told you Corey Feldman did it on
That's
some
great
movie.
because it was actually a really fun thing to use in that moment where you need his adult character to be able to prove to his friend that it's actually him.
Yeah.
And, instead of the normal things that they use in that movie, they used that, and it was so unique and so cool. And then, like, the kid getting into it and starting to do it with him as he realizes it's actually him. That was fucking great. That was great storytelling.
Yes,
Super
it was.
cool.
Well, maybe I'll watch that. Last week I said I was
Big
going to
is-
watch Shrek. Maybe I'll watch Big.
Big's a fun movie.
right.
Big's got problems, but it's a good movie.
Okay.
Have you
Always
not
worth
seen
a
Shrek
revisit.
either?
I haven't
For
seen
sure.
Shrek
You
either,
never
yeah.
seen Shrek?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
This
How
happened
do
last
you
week.
run a podcast about movies and videos and things like this without having seen some of the greatest movies of all time?
That's kind of part of our...
I am the a-hole opinion in the title.
it's part of our charm.
Yeah. That's what we're calling it. The charm.
I was trying to work it.
It's kind of our charm.
I was gonna say our thing, but I was like, make it sound better. That's okay. His deal with Shrek. He's avoided Shrek the way I've avoided Harry Potter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've still managed to never see a Harry Potter movie.
Let's see. I'm that way with The Office. Not that I'm avoiding
See?
it. I just have never managed to watch a full episode of The Office.
Man.
It's a good show.
Well, should you find one you want to watch, I have a show where you should come talk about it.
Actually, it would be interesting to have somebody come on and watch a really later episode. No, because then they'd be like, "This show sucks."
They might. Although I'm excited about tomorrow. We've got because we just did a great episode.
We did Double Date.
Yeah, you came on for Double Date, which was one of the best episodes of season 6 so far. But I'm real excited for tomorrow. We've got Josh coming back for Murder.
That's one of my
and not
absolute
killing
favorites.
Josh, but the episode called Murder, and that one
But
is
you're
another
also
one.
gonna kill Josh.
We are also
Unrelated.
going to kill Josh. That's the secret track. The episode is not one that I liked originally because it's a kind of silly episode. But once you really understand what's happening, kind of the underlying story there, it has become one of my favorite episodes
It's
of the
always
show.
been one of my favorites.
It is a very good one, and I'm excited to get into it because I think we're finally hitting the point where season 6 is really starting to click for me. So quick little P4 plug in there.
I'll just say that like the comedic structure of the scene where Pam does the accent and Andy critiques her accent and is like, well, what you're kind of doing like a Florida panhandle thing when what you really want is like a Georgia thing, like molasses sort
Falling
of
out your mouth.
And then for Kevin to go, cool, now do Swedish Chef. Andy says, I'm not familiar. What province is he from? Hilarious by itself. And then Kevin, as sure as he can be that he's ever been right about anything, says he lives on Sesame Street, dumbass. That is one of my favorite jokes from the series.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Wow.
so good.
That is a good one.
It's so good because like it was already funny when Andy was like, I'm not familiar. What province is he from? It probably could have stopped there. And then Kevin, he lives on Sesame Street, dumbass. Just how sure he is too. I love it. I love that bit.
It's a good combination of scenes and moments like that, great character moments, and then a great kind of through line in the story that is carrying the greater narrative. So it's not to get super technical
there's lots
about
of
our
little things. Yeah, there's lots of little things in that episode that are very good.
But anyway,
Elio looks like a lot of fun. I do very much want to find out why our little young lead has the eye patch.
I do too. I wondered the same thing.
It feels like it has to be referenced. Yeah. Right? They can't just be like, put him in an eye patch and don't say anything.
Although that has kind of been a thing that we've seen more and more of, especially in animated films, is putting characters with some kind of, I don't want to say disability, but just unique challenges as prominent characters. And
True.
I don't.
Maybe the gift is not referencing it.
Yeah.
Or
that it's not a big deal.
A Red Ryder BB gun in the corner.
Right.
They don't talk about it.
It's just never mentioned. It's just sitting over there.
Sitting in the corner.
Exactly. And at one moment he walks by it, kind of looks at it, and his mom goes, I fucking told you.
Yeah.
Or he just looks at it and says, never again.
I really did put my eye out.
See, fun fact.
That's a deep cut.
Elio is an unofficial sequel to A Christmas Story. A lot of people don't know that.
Christmas Story 3.
Yeah, it is A Christmas Story 3 because the second one came out.
Yeah.
It was like a couple years ago. It was semi-recently.
I couldn't watch it.
No?
I started it and it wasn't very good.
Yeah.
And I felt sad.
I wasn't even going to try.
So I stopped it. Yeah, I turned it off because I was like, no, I need my memory of this to be pristine.
Yep, the first one was so classic. I couldn't even bring myself to watch the second one.
That's like when they did the new Coming to America. I was kind of in that boat. Like that was such a classic.
Couldn't bring myself to watch that either.
See, I watched
Too scared
that one,
of it being bad.
I watched that one mostly because I knew somebody in it, and so
cool.
I wanted to see where they were in the movie.
Yeah.
Right on.
That's one thing we
was
haven't
in
touched about.
Tori Ruffin.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
I knew that. That's right. Okay. Tori's awesome.
Tori's great.
And we
need to
haven't
try and
touched on
hit him
that.
up.
You've been working in front of the camera more, doing a little bit of acting and extra work.
I have.
I think the last time we had you on, you had just done the...
Was it Tulsa,
Tulsa King?
Yeah.
I did Tulsa King last year. I also did Reservation Dogs last year. I was on the previous season Reservation Dogs. I've done a couple of things that have been on Pure Flix.
Nice.
Which
is not a porn channel, by the way.
Oddly
it is
enough,
a Christian channel.
It is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. And yet they let me on.
Yeah.
So that's been fun. The check clears, so that's what matters.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, it's been fun to be on camera.
I bet.
And oddly enough, I get a weird amount of screen time for the amount of time I'm there to shoot.
Really?
Yeah, because most background actors just don't get that much screen time.
Yeah.
But
Are you talking about the Pure Flick stuff or just in general?
in general,
Oh, nice.
In general, it has amazed me because I've got friends that have done it with me and shot at different places as background actors, and
I can tell you why.
we'll watch and they'll have to look for their arm or their shoulder or, oh, that's my hair.
Yeah.
And yet I manage to get on screen every time, it seems like.
You're a more standout set piece.
A caricature, if you will.
Not even. I wouldn't even go so
yeah,
far as to say that it's for a caricature thing. It's just that you stand out more than most of the just bland extras that all kind of look like.
Okay, I
your-
know.
your
I'm
friend's
heavier
cousin.
than most of the other extras. I know. I know.
It's the
I
hair
take
and the
up more-
beard more than anything.
Yeah, the hair and the beard for sure. You have a striking look, and you've really been cast well. At least in the stuff that I've seen the most has been Reservation Dogs and Tulsa King. Reservation Dogs, I've seen you as one of the bar patrons.
Yeah, that was the running joke on Reservation Dogs for the first year.
Yeah.
Was if there was a bar, there was a CR.
Right. Oh, I
Because
love that.
every bar scene, I'm there somewhere.
Well, I was going to say, there's a certain look of that extra that they're trying to get, and you have the best version of it.
Not that every bar I've walked in has had a long hair, bearded guy chilling in the corner, but that is a great guy to have chilling in the corner.
That is a bar trope.
I've never been into a dive bar that didn't have one.
Right,
That is true.
And on the flip, and this one has been such fun for me because just knowing what a kind and generous, pleasant, wonderful, delightful human you are, who always has a smile when I see you. In Tulsa King, you're this fucking menacing presence.
I have to tell you, my buddy John at the cigar shop, he saw that and he came over to me and he goes, "Dude, you are one hell of an actor."
Right?
I'm like, "Why do you say that?" He goes, you looked really tough and scary on that show. And I know you.
You and a couple other guys are really like standing around in one scene in particular, in a couple scenes, but in one scene in particular where they're, what's his name from Party Down? The actor with the glasses and the long hair. Martin Starr.
Yeah,
Martin Starr is being, spoilers, he's kind of being a tortured or about to be tortured. Scary stuff, interrogated. And you're standing there looking kind of down on it as one of the kind of the heavies.
Right.
And it is intense to the point of like, just to share some behind the scenes, my mother just moved here, and she's been a big fan of your comedy and a big fan of you as a person for years now.
She's a sweetheart.
Yeah, she always loves getting a chat with you when we see you out and about. And I called her in the room because I'm watching that episode, and I go, recognize anyone? And it took her a while. And you're not the kind of guy that blends in.
No, not at all.
Your whole body language was so different, and obviously you're not talking. You certainly got a recognizable voice,
Right.
And it took her a few minutes. And she's like, even when she finally got it, it wasn't CR. It was CR.
I can't wait for the first time that like the production crew is like, man, I really like this guy's look. Like, let's give him a couple lines and then watch him go.
And then this comes out.
And they're like, thank God we have AI.
They're going to dub you faster than Ray Park.
I was going to say, they're like,
Exactly.
we're going to give you 2 lines. You're still going to be able to get your SAG card, but they're going to be ADR.
It's like when I'm telling you, it's like Phantom Menace when they're like, Mr. Park, as Sith leader Darth Maul, we need you to say that the Jedi are gone. All right, the Jedi are going to what? And let's get a voiceover.
I mean, they're doing that with an entire character in Twisted Metal.
Oh yeah,
are they?
Yeah. So the wrestler Samoa Joe is playing Sweet Tooth.
Yep.
Okay.
And but Will Arnett is doing the voice.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Well, the original Mad Max was completely overdubbed because
Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson's voice
It's so anti-Semitic.
It's so anti-Semitic that they couldn't let it on the screen.
It was all anti-Jewish slurs the entire time. Weird too, It was,
But yeah, his Australian accent was so strong he couldn't be understood.
Yeah.
And so they went over and voice dubbed the entire thing.
yeah.
Outlander. We have your woman, Outlander.
I can't hear that without thinking of South Park.
I know, me too.
Speaking of South Park,
No more talk. We go in. We fight.
speaking of South Park, who wants to do a road trip to Denver to go to Casa Bonita?
Oh,
yeah.
I'm down. I'm hella down.
Let's do it.
I would so go.
Or let's get a petition going. There was one here they can save too.
There is.
Come on,
and
guys.
they ought to.
Yeah.
Is it still salvageable, or have they turned it into other things?
I don't even know.
It's been turned into other things and then returned into other things, and I haven't been
It
inside.
still
in
has like the
years.
facade, right?
Yeah, the facade still.
No,
is it?
they have torn it down since. They have at least gutted it.
Okay, so
Man.
it's probably gone for good.
Yeah.
Remember Crystal's Pizza that was right next to it?
Loved Crystal's
Really?
Pizza. Their movie theater always showed either
Cartoons.
Three Stooges, cartoons, or old silent movies like what's his name?
Charlie Chaplin.
Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah.
And I
Kid.
loved that room. I could
too.
just spend hours in there. Everybody else was spending money playing video games. I was just sitting watching movies.
That was just a Tulsa thing, right?
Yeah.
Crystal's
No.
was
They had them
regional for
because
sure.
I was living in Abilene, Texas, and we had Crystal's
Oh,
Pizza.
no shit. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool,
exact
cool,
same thing.
Huh.
It was probably awful
Nice.
pizza, but we loved it because you could go play video games
Yeah.
and watch
Yeah.
movies and all that stuff.
It was like
I thought it was a one-off.
Nope.
it was like Chuck E. Cheese without the animatronic nightmares.
No, there was a bunch of those because y'all had a Shotgun Sam's here. I
Yeah,
think.
we had a Shotgun Sam's.
That was
at one
another
time.
one that we had down there too. That it's
It was
funny.
out in South Tulsa
Okay.
where the rich people live.
North Texas.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm also a foodie. It's one of my other, I guess, drawbacks. But I'm on these like Tulsa food pages and stuff.
Oh, man.
And so they'll put up, this restaurant was here, and I'm like, we had those in Texas. I thought they were one-offs to us.
Right.
Then I find out, no, they're
Same
more
thing where
regional.
You thought it was only yours.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
oh shit, I thought that was our thing.
Man, the Tulsa food pages are wild.
Some of them are pretty fun.
Some crazy
Yes.
posts on some of those. Are you on the
yeah.
Tulsa restaurant reviews?
Yes.
That is a
Oh my
trip.
gosh.
Do you have a favorite, like a go-to, like the one that you're like, I'm going to go there first for when I need to go, like where I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to have dinner.
Like a restaurant? Just like
Or no, one of the groups,
One of the
like
groups.
that you think gives the most consistently good recs.
no. I think they're all just
all over
horrible.
the
Yeah, they're all shit shows.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
It
Okay,
is.
cool.
Yeah.
I can tell you, he is the group to go to when you want a good restaurant.
To know where
Nice.
to go.
I mean,
Excellent.
seriously, if there's a new restaurant open, he's tried it.
Yeah.
He knows, not only does he know the food, he knows the people that cook the food.
Cool.
He knows all of the ins and outs. So he is my reference anytime. And now my cousin.
That doesn't surprise me, especially talking about the way you are with people, the way you're just a good talker.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, now my cousin fully believes in that because we were on a road trip a couple of years ago in Texas.
Yeah.
And we were running down the road talking about trying to find a place to eat. So what do? I message Kevin.
Yeah.
Because Kevin knows food. I mean, sure, I'm in Texas, but Kevin knows food. So I text Kevin, and we're going to
Sweetwater.
Sweetwater.
Okay.
And he recommended this place. What's the name of the place?
Miss Allen's. So
It is
Nice.
It is home style cooking. You sit at family style tables. No matter, I mean, you're sitting with strangers.
Yeah.
And it's basically all you can eat because I don't know how they charge you, but it wasn't enough for what we did. But they just keep bringing out food.
and you just take whatever they bring out. They just bring out bowls of whatever. It may be fried chicken.
Yeah, they don't even have a menu.
Oh, so you don't
rolled
order.
squash.
No.
There's no menu. Yeah, you just sit down and you're just gonna eat whatever they made that day. So it's like
You get what you get.
going to someone's house, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's just all you can eat. They just keep bringing bowl after bowl.
And I bet
That's the
it's
worst type
gotta
of
be
place for
good
me because
enough.
I eat like a fucking 4-year-old.
Right.
Same.
Well,
Man.
but it was so good. My cousin now, anytime we're going anywhere, he goes, "Hey, message your buddy and see if he knows any good restaurants
Hell
here."
yeah, that's awesome.
Well, I'll tell you, my go-to was when I was over at Fox 23. You know, I was close with James Adelot, our chief meteorologist.
Yeah,
over
yeah.
there. And he, besides being a great weather guy, he's a private pilot. He owns his own plane.
Oh.
So he flies all over the region, and he's a foodie too. So he's always been my go-to when I go somewhere new. I'll hit James. I'll be like, "Hey, what's to eat around here?" And he'll send me back a short list. You made the list.
Living
now,
up
Kevin.
to his last name.
Yeah,
Yeah, Adelot.
James Adelot. Exactly. That disturbs me. I worked with that man for a decade and never thought of that. I have let you all down. I am sorry.
Wait, really?
Hilton
Yeah.
Price, former
Is
comedian.
that the first time you've heard that?
Oh, I've
Just
called
now?
him. He's been James late a lot. He's been James. He played a lot. He's been so many things. Doesn't get laid a lot, but he does. The ate a lot was not.
You're
happened.
welcome for the joy you're going to feel the next time he says his tummy hurts.
Yeah.
You're going to be like, yes, this is my moment.
Finally. So, Kevin, but back here in Tulsa, do you have any newer places that you'd recommend?
Ooh,
that
good
that
call.
you recently learned about?
Nomad Barbecue Deli at 31st and Harvard.
Really?
okay.
Okay,
It's-
that's right around the corner.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is right down here.
Really cool. They cook everything on Hasty Bakes, which is a local grill company for
Yeah.
people that don't know.
Super popular too. The Hasty
Exactly.
Oh, they've been, their expansion and growth has been gigantic in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just recently they started a thing called the Grill Fest.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
And
you
they
guys
had
just
it-
played that.
Yeah, they had it the first
sick.
year in their parking lot, and they had so many teams they had to expand it, so they moved it to the University of Tulsa campus.
Yup, yeah.
and had it in one of the ovals there, and now they're considering, I guess, expanding it to like 80
Yeah, because their home
teams,
base is
which
right over there at Lewis.
Yeah.
right,
Yeah,
right
yeah.
by to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that makes
so-
sense. That's awesome.
But
that
yeah,
TU
this-
was jumped on board. Sorry.
No, it's this new restaurant. That's what they do. They cook everything on those Hasty Bakes.
You said it's called
Um,
Nomads?
Nomad Barbecue Deli.
Okay.
And so think deli sandwiches, but all the meat is freshly smoked in house. So like pastrami and ham and all that.
Damn.
Oh, so
That-
good.
You may just made my lunch plate.
Right. But yeah, even they do sides. They do like whole fried okra and homemade potato chips and
Nice.
Oh yeah, it's really
Ooh,
really
homemade
cool.
potato chips are underrated, man, or like underappreciated.
Oh,
if
yeah.
they're done well.
And if you
Yeah.
ask them real nice, they'll even put some like blue cheese and some buffalo sauce on those chips.
Ooh, wow.
Dude,
Okay.
so good.
Man, all right. Damn.
Have you done Oakhart barbecue?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've
That's
heard about
that's
that
my
one.
that's
Yeah.
my buddy's place.
That's
Oh, really?
North Tulsa,
Yeah,
right?
Chris.
Isn't that a little bit north of us?
It's over on 3rd and Utica.
Okay.
Over near the church studio where
Okay.
Leon Russell recorded.
Sure. Yeah.
It's great.
It's on Church Row.
It's a good representation
Row.
of Central Texas barbecue, so
Yeah.
which is a little bit different. It's mostly just salt and pepper, but they do really high quality meat and they smoke it right.
Have you
I
met
just love it.
Chris over there?
I believe I have,
Chris
but
Evans?
I don't know who he is. So I believe I met him one time when I went in because I think he was the guy that walked up and he goes, "Let me guess, brisket, fatty end." And I went, "How do you know?"
Lot of tattoos. So yeah, I think it's Chris's buddy who owns it, and they were in a band together. And
Okay.
and so I forget Chris's role in the joint, but shout out to them. They do good stuff over
Very
there.
cool.
Definitely one of my
Yeah.
favorite things is their cheese grits.
Yeah.
You get some chopped brisket and throw it in the cheese grits. Oh man.
Oh, yeah. You got some good,
good.
food wrecks, folks. If you're in the Tulsa area,
I'm gonna give you one more question then, and I'll give you. You can do either one or both if you really want. I want to know your favorite burger or your favorite pizza in Tulsa.
Ooh, that's good. Favorite burger is the Tavern.
Really?
Downtown.
that burger is fucking
That is
good.
a damn good
It is a
burger,
really
Especially
good
after like
burger.
9 o'clock when it goes half price.
right?
Right.
A brioche
That's
bun
that
with
sweet
them
spot, yeah.
little skinny fries.
You know
That's
what?
good.
I've never gone back from a brioche bun. If I
Really?
if I'm making burgers,
Brioche
I'm
bun?
buying a brioche bun every time.
All right.
Yeah.
Every
Cool.
time.
Pizza's a hard one because there's so many. It's like Mexican food. There's so many different types.
Yeah.
If it's Chicago style, I got to go Savastanos.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean,
Sure.
absolutely amazing.
Well,
They're
I'm
the
a New
standard.
York style, so you got a New York preference.
New York, Umberto's is hard to beat.
It is. That's a great choice.
I mean, it's-
Umberto's is good. I'm actually a really big fan of Empire's.
I
yes,
am too.
Empire's real good.
I should point
Their
out Umberto's
MCA.
also is 31st and Harvard, right by the Nomads
Yeah.
barbecue.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
weird.
So-
It's maybe a hot spot for good food or something.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
tell you-
becoming one, I guess.
I was just there this morning. I went to a diner, Ted's Diner.
Yes.
Used to be
Yes.
Phil's, and that
Used to
was
be
Phil's.
real good. Real good. I'd never been there before, and that was real solid too. So if
My
you're looking
next
for food,
question
go
is,
park at 31st and Harvard. Just
If
throw
we're
a
talking
rock.
about the different types of pizza, then you've got your gas station pizza.
Right.
Oof.
Casey's gas station pizza is far better than it has any business being.
And their breakfast pizza is the hidden gem.
Yeah.
I keep hearing
It is
that.
amazing.
They have
Yeah.
a triple pepperoni now.
Yeah.
Really?
Big fat deli peps, old school raggy peps, cup and curls.
Cup and curls. Oh,
It's fucking incredible.
that's my jam.
Makes you feel like you're working out when you eat
So,
it cup and curl.
I've
It's like,
told
oh,
this story.
yeah.
I've told this story. I've told this
That's the
story
curl,
a few
that counts.
times, but my wife and I were driving around doing errands one day. Going shopping, doing a bunch of stuff, and we needed to stop for lunch.
Yeah.
And so we were trying to think of places to stop. And as we were driving, we see a Casey's, and she goes, "Let's go to Casey's and get pizza." And my response was, "The gas station?" And she goes, "You don't understand. Their pizza is insanely good."
Yeah.
And I was like, "I've had gas station pizza. It's okay at best." Guys, I cannot stress it enough. It's next level good.
Man.
Yeah, it's good
It's
pizza.
fucking gnarly good.
If I wasn't going to Nomads
Yeah, no,
immediately
for
after
sure.
the show,
You have to- that's the downside, though, is that we don't have one close. Like, you got to be either
There's one
in
out, like,
Broken Arrow.
Jenks or
Jinx.
You have
Yeah.
one pretty close to you, yeah,
Yeah.
in Jinx.
but
Jinx
that's
has
my
one.
fault of buying 20 years ago in South Tulsa.
But yeah, and then there's one Casey's that's like 71st and what is it, Garnett, but they don't have the kitchen because they took over like a Come and Go or something.
Oh, really?
So they don't have the pizza there.
And then I got to say, I haven't tried it yet, but a friend of the show, Trevor Carrion, is always talking about On Q, and he says their pizza at On Q locations is real good. No, okay.
I haven't had their pizza.
You know what? I've had
Wow.
food from On Q and it's pretty okay, but like Casey's Pizza will make that pizza like trash.
Wow. Okay. Damn.
Trash.
Man, do I really want barbecue today? Think on this.
Who says you have to pick one?
Right.
Hey,
That is a damn good point. It is the weekend. I need to live it up.
Not that they've sponsored us because they fucking haven't, but if
Yeah.
you get the Casey's app, you can pre-order your pizza and you can even get it delivered.
Casey's, you can pay us to say that, by the way.
Please pay us to say that. I will happily take sponsorship money.
Love the money.
I would just do it for free pizza. Right.
That's a good point.
You get 6 months of free ads for 2 larges.
Oh, you're
really
underselling yourself.
us.
Yeah,
Underselling
right.
yourself huge,
right?
I'm just hungry. That's always the worst when you're like, oh man, I'm so hungry. I would make a really bad deal right now. Yeah. I didn't realize how hungry I was till we started all
I know,
this,
right? Yeah.
Should we pick it and plug it so
Let's
we
do
can
it.
get some food?
Let's do.
Food picks and plugs have already been handled. So.
Yeah, right. We already got our food wrecks.
I can go first.
Go ahead.
Let's go. I'm going to talk about a fun pick. I'm going back into comics, man. I've been doing a lot of new comics, and it's not just to promote my comic book show, OK Geek, which has semi-regular episodes. I hope you come check it out. But I've been reading the new Shazam comic book,
Oh yeah.
written by Mark Waid. Who
You
is
mentioned that to me, I think, before.
Did I?
right? Maybe.
hopefully, I didn't do it as a pick before.
No. I think that you mentioned that there's a new
It's
one.
been so good. We're 2 issues in, and I'm not a Shazam guy. I still haven't seen the movies. Shazam, of course, originally called Captain Marvel.
We rewatched the first one last night, ironically enough.
Yeah?
I don't know. The irony's not
And
the
I
right
hear
word,
it's good.
but
It's got good scores.
coincidentally.
Yeah, coincidentally. Isn't it ironic?
It is fun.
I don't think.
I liked the movie quite
a little
bit.
too ironic.
Yeah, don't you think?
Don't you think? It's like rain.
The book was silly and fun. And here's the thing: when when Captain Marvel was an ongoing book originally, it was produced by Fawcett Comics back in the 30s, like back in the early days of Superman and Batman. Originally, then it was bought by DC. Fawcett Comics was absorbed by DC, and those characters, and that's why DC has a character called Captain Marvel. And then, of course, after years of rights disputes back and forth between the two comic book publishers, they finally agreed to just call him Shazam, which, of course, does lead to the issue. In the story world, he says the word Shazam to change back and forth from his adult superhero persona to his child secret identity.
The problem is, so does everybody else.
Yeah, well, and also, how do you say your name? Should someone be like, "Hey, what's your name?" Shazam. Oh, now I'm a kid again.
Yeah,
so it doesn't make a ton of sense. So now in this,
but
new
don't
book,
the other characters also say that?
they do too. So now you can't even get his attention and be like, "Hey, Shazam! Crap, I'm a superhero now."
No, I mean, don't they say that word to turn into because
they all say Shazam to change.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you. That's what I was trying to remember.
So in the new book, not only does he have a new name, the Captain, which is very dumb, but the book...
His new sidekick, Tennille.
Love will keep us together.
Winsome.
But the book has really embraced the kind of silly superheroics of the 1930s stories. Like in the first issue, the kind of a good comic starts kind of mid-action scene to kind of rope you in. And the adventure he's on is he is stopping a rampaging group of T-Rexes who turn out to be extra smart, verbal, like they can talk. And they're aliens. So they're alien T-Rexes from another planet who are super smart. And that's the kind of silly, wacky ideas that the original comic would have. And it's done in a way that is both embracing that silliness, but still telling a cohesive, believable narrative that has been fun and still... and not felt like it was talking down to me, not felt juvenile. And that's really the credit to Mark Waid, who's a writer who's been doing comics for decades and has gone through some BS and really come out the other side. We talked a little bit about people coming back from canceling. And he really proved himself to be an asshole online for a couple of years and kind of got blacklisted because of it. He's been finally given another chance. I've talked on this show about how good his World's Finest run is, featuring Superman and Batman. And every book he has done since then, whether it was the Batman versus Robin run, which was a limited series, or this new Shazam, has been so good. So I really got to give a shout. This is not a character I cared about. This is not a writer I expected to be reading again. And these are not the types of stories I'm typically into, but this has been great.
Nice.
So, and I'll get into it more on my podcast if you want to check it out over there. And over on the plug side, join us over at the Starlight Comedy Night every second Friday of the month. We've got a fantastic lineup so far. I've only got one person I can tell you about, but she is a get because I've got Casey Malone back on stage here in Tulsa. Super psyched to see Casey is performing again. She has been one of the funniest in Tulsa for many years, and I'm super thrilled to have her back on that show.
Very cool.
Yeah. CR, got a pick and a plug for us?
Well, as far as picks go, my pick would be an old one, only because it recently finished its run, and that is The Marvelous Miss Maisel.
Oh, yeah.
It was spectacular, and the way it ended was just chef's kiss.
Great.
It was really good. If I can do another pick.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. I've
always.
Couple.
I have thrown this out on our podcast, The Smokey Guys. I'm going to go ahead and mention that once.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about
we
that.
mentioned it a few more
have
times.
a video
We got
podcast
plugs.
as well. Yeah.
We can delve into it. We can expand a little bit when we talk about it.
Absolutely.
But something I talked about there that I have seen recently is a music video by a guy named Ren. It's called Hi Ren. And he's
just R-E-N?
R-E-N. That's his name. And he's kind of a musician rapper from England. But this video, he's kind of in his own mind talking back and forth to himself, very much like Eminem and some others have done. But he even references that within the song. It is such a good song and such a good video. I have to anytime somebody's talking about music videos, I have to go, hey, have you seen Ren?
Ren, okay.
So I don't know anything else by him. I don't know anything about him. He could be the most awful person in the world.
Yeah.
But that video is good.
Well, that's kind of how we said it should work. So
Yeah, exactly.
Let's learn about Ren, and then maybe we'll go from what we find out.
Well, and as for my pitches, I've got a show coming up next weekend in Owasso with Angela Teague. Follow my Facebook to get details on that, because I will be honest, I don't know the details right now.
C.R. Parsons comedian?
C.R. Parsons comedian or C.R. Parsons comedy on all the social medias. Yeah. Also, it's a little ways away, but I want to go ahead and pitch the Blue Whale Comedy Festival.
Oh, yeah.
That is a huge comedy festival that we have here in Tulsa.
It'll be the last weekend of July, correct?
Last weekend of July this year. And it's always great. We bring in great comedians. We've got Saturday Night Live folks here this year. We've had Saturday Night Live folks several years.
Oh, yeah.
Including one of our own homegrown Saturday Night Live folks, Stephen Castillo.
Yeah.
So
the list of credits I've gotten from doing Blue Whale is...
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
And the amount of awesome comics we've had a chance to meet, to work with. You know, we've done 2 live shows with the festival now. It is
as a
great,
podcast.
great experience.
Yeah. And my buddy Rickshaw and I do a breakfast or brunch show.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of fun. We take comedians and we throw them into the deep end because we give them a topic to talk about, and they have to cook something at the same time. And it is, last year we did it, and it was so much fun.
Yeah.
So we're going to bring that back again this year.
Awesome.
And it's going to be a great set of lineup. So, yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah. Yeah. The Blue Whale Comedy Festival is always a blast. I've had the chance to perform there, like we were saying. And this year I didn't even apply, and I'll be in the crowd watching. So it'll be fun to get to hang and watch.
Well, this will be the first year that I'm not there in some way, shape, or form.
Well, y'all will get to just enjoy it instead of actually having to do something.
That's been my thing. I've actually taken every other year off.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I always do a year, and then I sit out a year. And it's fun to just get to come and see you guys and be a fan, which is something I don't always get to do. So
very cool.
Yeah.
BlueWhaleComedyFestival.com. Go there and get your tickets. They are already on sale.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then let's talk a little bit about your podcast, or the video podcast.
Yeah, I call it a video podcast.
Yeah.
We're putting it up on YouTube. Eventually, it will probably be an audio as well, so we'll do both platforms. But it's something we started. We're in episode
14,
15, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Weekly, semi-weekly? What's the schedule?
Roughly weekly.
Okay. I can relate. Yes.
I do all of the editing, and my schedule is not exactly empty.
Yeah,
So
it is
I cannot guarantee exactly when they come out, but I try to put them out on Mondays or Tuesdays of each week. But the idea is it's the Smokey Guys. Kevin and I are both big cigar guys.
Mike, why didn't we take that name? Just never mind.
Legal stuff.
Gotcha.
But Kevin and I are both big cigar guys, and we love
Different kind of cigar. That's why.
There you go. There you go.
You both.
We love sitting around at cigar bars or cigar lounges and the conversations that happen.
Yeah.
Because you never know where a conversation is going to go. You never know who you're sitting there with. I've sat next to Grammy-winning musicians and not known it for the first hour and a half we were sitting there because we were talking about other things. So we always thought it was so great, the conversations that happen in cigar lounges. Yeah. So we want to bring that to YouTube. And so we try to be a little bit educational every once in a while, throw some information in there. But other than that, it's often he and I sitting around, or we often have guests, including comedians and musicians and just
We've
friends.
Had law enforcement. We've had just the regular random Joe.
Yeah.
I mean, just some guy that was sitting in the bar when we happened to be there. And we're like, hey, you want to be on a podcast? So he just jumps on with us.
Well, that's great.
But to kind of go, I guess, piggyback off what you were saying. We found over the years of doing this that we have the most interesting conversations in these establishments because, again, we're all there for the same purpose, which is to smoke cigars. But you may be sitting there having a conversation with someone who has the polar opposite idea as you, or polar opposite opinion as you, but there's something about smoking a cigar makes it just the most civil. Yeah, we disagree, but we can get along.
I like that.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with having a different opinion, and that's what we're trying to get across. Is it's okay to disagree.
Yeah.
It's how we treat each other as human beings.
I've had that happen with a joint a lot of times. You guys, it's kind of a similar thing. It's an equalizer of sorts.
It is.
My very first ever week emceeing was one of the biggest lessons I ever got on that, because I emceed for the Ragin' Cajun, John Morgan. We couldn't be more polar opposites. I mean, he's not like super off the deep end right, but he's far, far, far more to the right than I am.
Yeah.
However, we had a lot of
that ain't hard.
Fuck off. We had a lot of really good and very, very civil conversations about things that are normally tough to talk about without getting heated.
Right.
And a lot of it was because the whole time we were smoking weed together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and it's one of the things that we've kind of gotten away from it. And there's so more people have talked at length and better educated about this than me. But the idea that we have let the emotion and anger precede the details in these disagreements.
Well, and what bothers me is that's part of why I wanted to go into law. Yeah. Wanted to get a law degree and practice law, because I thought of lawyers as being the people that would go into court, argue to the nth degree, and then go out and have a beer together.
Yeah.
And it's not that cordial.
Yeah.
It may have been 30 years ago.
Yeah.
But it is definitely not now. Now the arguments you see in court are the same arguments that happen outside of court, and it's no fun. Because I love a good debate, and I love having those deep and difficult conversations, and then going, "Hey, great hanging out with you." There is never any ill will after those conversations. Yeah. But that just doesn't seem to be the case with most folks.
It's
anymore.
because it used to be that both sides were operating in good faith, whether or not they agreed or disagreed. Now there's a lot less good faith in arguments, not only in the law, but especially in politics.
Right.
And when you have one side that's openly operating under the assumption that, bottom line, I'm saying these things, but I don't care if they're true or not. I'm supporting my team, my tribe, no matter what. Mm-hmm. Like a perfect example is there's a Jordan Klepper clip where he was talking about having a conversation with a woman, a Trump supporter, and basically asking, she was saying, talking about a case, and he was saying, would you think it would be wrong if somebody were to intimidate witnesses and try and get witnesses to not testify? And she was like, well, yeah, that would be terrible. And he points out specific instances where Trump was doing that. And she took a long beat and she went, I don't care. That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's why these arguments aren't the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and there's there's certain arguments, unfortunately, that can be a little more complicated than just a friendly debate.
Sure. Absolutely.
We have parts of the community that are sometimes targeted, and not that every act of an antagonistic opinion is a target. There is confusion there, unfortunately, and a lot of us can be very thin-skinned about that. But myself definitely included. But at its core, there's certain things like if you're saying, that certain people don't exist, that's not a debate,
Right.
So to get into the nature of their existence, there are debates to be had.
But especially when you talk about the stakes being so much higher in law, because oftentimes you're not only operating off of established precedent, but you're creating precedent.
Exactly.
And creating precedent in the law is big. It's a big deal.
Sure.
You know,
that can have lasting impact.
Exactly. So those arguments are high stakes.
They are, but in my opinion, they should not be high emotion.
Correct.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely.
And that's what has happened.
Because those arguments should always be based on logic, facts, and precedent, and the law that exists as is.
Yeah. Well, and lawyers, if the debates we get into casually, whether it's across the dining room table, the podcast set, the cigar bar, whatever, in the end, those may be, some emotion may creep in. We're all human beings. We're living our lives. Our life experience colors our words. But especially in the courtroom, you're supposed to be sticking to the letter of the law.
You're supposed to be able to separate that.
Yeah. And so I feel if anywhere should have that freedom, it should be there. So to hear that it's degraded even there too is sad.
Do you want to talk about Eileen Cannon for a little while? I'm just kidding. That's the
notice the glassed over eyes.
No.
I'm actually surprised you weren't up on that.
No, not at all.
I was gonna say his goal to be an attorney because he wanted to have an argument and then be able to go have a beer. You should have been a hockey player because that's what we do. We go out, we punch each other in the face, then we go have a beer in the parking lot.
Yeah, see, it's
that's not an
punching each
argument,
other that I
yeah.
have an issue
He
with.
likes punching with words.
Yes.
Not everyone
punch
develops
with
the
words.
affinity that we discussed earlier.
If I could just chirp and then go have a beer, I'd be fine. My problem is I would chirp and get hit.
Now, my question on the show is the title is the Smokey Guys. Is that also the channel?
It is on YouTube.
Thank you. Cool.
It's the Smokey Guys.
So you can subscribe to the Smokey Guys channel and get all the Smokey Guys content.
Absolutely. Or you can email us at thesmokeyguys@gmail.com.
Nice.
We have all the Smokey Guys.
We did learn that there is two spellings to Smokey. Apparently, there's SMOKY and SMOKEY. We're
EY is the correct way,
Yes.
right?
In my opinion.
Thank
It
you.
is.
Okay, that's how I wrote it because I'm smart.
Yeah.
And I'm just kidding.
But then I spelled-
when I wrote it though, I did have a moment of, is this right?
well, I went out and got I went ahead and got all the ones without the E as well, like all the websites
domains.
and domains
Yeah,
and
smart.
everything.
Nice.
I was like,
That's the way to do it.
Smart.
Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah.
so I was like, yeah, somebody's going to screw it up.
Yeah.
And Kevin, any picks you got to share with us tonight?
Music wise, the new Jason Isbell album. I know I'm wearing
Nice.
the shirt, but that album is amazing. If you're not into the
What's it
guy.
called?
Weather Vanes.
Okay.
Jason Isbell in the 400 unit. Just released it last Friday. Man, it's stellar. I went to the tour kickoff show the other night over in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and
Cool.
I'm telling you, these songs live are even just that much more impactful. Lyrics wise, he's probably the best like current songwriter. If you dig into his lyrics and the stuff he's talking about, I'd put him on par with like Bruce Springsteen and those guys because he's just amazing.
I love that.
Right on.
I saw you posting from that show too. You shared some posts on Facebook from there too.
Yeah.
And that's another thing too. For as busy as you are, I still feel like I see you out supporting other creatives a lot, and that's just great to see.
Yeah, and that's something. I mean, he knows. I've supported comedians and our local
how I
comedy
met you.
scene.
Yeah, absolutely.
I come out to shows, and that's the way it should be.
Yeah,
for
I mean,
sure.
I hear other musicians and other comedians talking bad about each other, and I'm like, why?
Yeah.
That if we all build each other, a rising tide raises all ships.
Exactly.
If we go out and support each other, then guess what? That should help the scene as a whole.
Absolutely.
And Tulsa is a town to be proud of for what we have as far as a music scene, and honestly, the comedy scene's been awesome. It's been cool to watch it grow as well.
Yeah.
And just watch how the quality has come up with the quantity as well. Because we have a lot of shows between music and comedy.
Oh yeah.
And it's cool to watch, like say, the quality come up.
I was looking at
well.
an old Facebook post from 8 years ago that I made today that was talking then about how much the scene had grown and developed, the comedy scene, how many more places there were to play than there had been 8 years prior when I had started. And it was so impressive to me to see not only how much was acknowledging the growth nearly a decade ago, but then to think how much it's grown since then.
Right.
And I agree 100%. In the time that I've been doing comedy, I have found so much more benefit from finding ways to lift other performers up, to be supportive, even if they're not someone I totally agree with. I was chatting with a comic on Wednesday who I don't love all his material. I don't 100% love his kind of the attitude he brings to the stage. But the dude has got a thing. He's got a voice, and it's working for him, and I can't deny that. So
Right.
I support his thing, even if it's not really what I enjoy. Not to say that there aren't one or two comics out there who suck ass, and I will 100% call them out on it.
I am much quicker to separate myself if you are shitty off stage than if you're shitty on stage.
Yeah.
Like you can be not very good on stage and I'll still support you all day long if you're a good person.
Yeah.
I'll support your growth and your getting better, and I'll try and help you get better, and I'll support you all day long. But yeah, if you suck off stage, I'm probably not going to help.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, like, there's a certain language that I see. There's certain attitudes that I see that are not what I would be, but they're not really bad. They're just not my style, and I am trying to learn to support. There's some that are just assholes.
Yeah, that's the ones. I'm talking
and
about.
fuck them. But sometimes I'm just like,
you know who you are.
like I think you're kind of a dipshit, but it's still within the bounds of okay dipshittery. So
Fair.
you know.
Oh, there's always those. Yeah, we've
Yeah.
had those forever.
Yeah, but
Brock Ullman. Remember that guy?
Oh, you didn't. Two more times it'll appear.
It's
Watch
like,
out.
Not a bad person. Just
He was one of those I couldn't figure out for the longest time whether he knew what he was doing or he didn't know what he was doing.
I should have.
Yeah,
Because if he knew what he was doing, that guy was the next Andy Kaufman.
exactly.
That's
There was
the
a
word everybody.
Kaufman-esque-ness.
That's the word everybody always would throw around, and I would constantly shoot it down immediately and be like, no. Listen to the words he's saying, and no.
Yeah. Well, I figured that out over time, but it took some time.
I know. It's so funny. I probably should have beeped his name out. Bleep, bleep.
Probably. Kevin, what do you got? Some shows coming up?
We do.
Tell us about your shows.
So next, let's see, Thursday the 22nd, we're doing and I don't know if this is open to the public or not, but in Jonesboro, Arkansas, we're going down to play a show for Anheuser-Busch.
Nice.
And for their craft brew division.
Oh, that's fun. That feels like a good fit for you guys.
For the farmers. Yeah. We're playing for the farmers that grow the grain.
Hey, nice.
I'm surprised they're able to do it, that they're still in business, after...
They were canceled.
Yeah.
They were.
They went woke. They went broke.
I still keep seeing people that are like, Bud Light sales are tanking.
I mean, they are. They dropped to number 2 under Modelo or whatever.
And
but
they
they're
own
fine.
Modelo, so
Exactly,
it doesn't
yeah.
really matter.
They're still fine.
That was my thing, is I'm like, they dropped to number 2 and they own number 1.
Yeah.
But anyway, that'll be a fun show.
So it will be. And
A lot of beer.
It's we actually have had Anheuser-Busch reps coming out to our shows lately because
Nice.
they want to make sure, I guess, we're kind of representing them in the way that they want to be.
The trick will be how early is your set and how much free
Right.
beer do they shove at you before that set
We
time.
start at noon, but
There you go. You're fine then.
Yeah,
You're fine.
and you guys have played Oktoberfest, so you're fine.
Oh,
doing
yeah.
the
We're-
job around the beer.
Yeah,
so.
we
well, the
can deal
best
with
when you're
lot
doing
of
a
beer.
thing like that is when you can play early and then you just party.
That's true.
Very
the
true.
bad one for us is we also have played a show in Arkansas the last 2 years for their legislative kickoff season for all the Congress and,
Okay.
all their politicians.
Even more alcohol
And,
there, I bet.
Yeah, the first year we showed up, the guy goes, "Okay, what do you drink?" And it was we're bourbon guys, and he goes, "Okay." He said, "Well, we've got 10 cases of Maker's Mark over here. Hope that's enough." And I was like, 10 cases. We were only playing 3 hours.
Well, then
Better get
we
another.
Then they
then we
sent us
went to
home.
get a drink.
Oh yeah, sorry.
And they were serving their drinks in these 16-ounce plastic cups that had the logo and everything, but they were serving all the drinks in that, whether it was soda or whatever, tea, whatever. So I go up and I'm like, I'll take a bourbon neat. And the girl takes that 16-ounce cup and fills it up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you do realize I have to play later.
Wow, yeah.
There is no way I'm
16
going to...
ounces. And for those out there who aren't familiar with the terminology, neat means no ice.
That's right. That's right. That's just
So
16
there's
ounces
no
of-
ice taking up extra volume in the cup.
For
Yes.
reference, a shot is 1 ounce.
1
I think
ounce.
standard.
Yeah, 1 or 2.
Yeah,
depending on
so I think I'm just gonna do a quick rough estimate. To put me on the floor would be 4 ounces of bourbon, maybe.
You usually use a 1 ounce for when you're mixing drinks.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
a 2 ounces when you're taking like a shot by
Yeah,
itself.
if you're...
Okay.
What sucks is the whole math behind a single and a double, because a single's 1 ounce,
Yeah.
and a double's 1.5 ounce. That
Oh,
makes
wow.
0 sense to
No,
me.
that's
It should be 2 ounces. If you're going to double it, double it.
double.
But no.
Double
Yeah,
means
that's
double.
not what double means. Yeah.
No.
Right. That is some vente means large nonsense right there. Yeah. All right. And then if for
Medium
upcoming
is
shows, if they don't get a
grande.
chance to make it out to
Oh,
Arkansas,
yeah. Sorry. Then we've got, if anybody happens to be in the Jasper, Missouri area, Saturday the 24th, I'm playing their fireworks display or celebration with a group that I have in Missouri called the Tri-County Troubadours.
nice.
So we're it's 4 singer-songwriters. And I don't know how we got try out of 4, but again, fuzzy
Quadra
math.
County doesn't roll off the tongue as
Yeah,
easy.
it
so.
doesn't.
It's Missouri math.
Yeah. So we do a lot of those shows where we just song swap, and so we're going to be doing one of those for their festival, and then I'll be back up there again July the 15th for Golden City Harvest Days, which is another big
Nice.
It's when the harvest comes in, so all the farmers get together and party. So it's kind of fun.
Yeah, later on in July, we will be here locally at a couple of casinos. So if you're in the Tulsa area, you can come see us.
Yeah,
we won't be out somewhere. We'll be home.
I think it's 21st and 22nd of July. We're at Osage, Tulsa.
Nice.
Just north of downtown.
Yep.
And then the following Friday night, we're going to be at Osage, Bartlesville.
Cool.
So,
and you're online on Facebook. If people want to keep track of you there.
Yeah, if you just go into any of the social medias and type in @KevinPriceBand,
Cool.
it should pull it right up, and you'll see the beard and the whole,
Nice.
whole bit. So.
Yeah, he left the closers out of that part.
It's just too much to type out.
It's a lot.
Kevin Price and the closers.
Then you'd have to pay Kira Sedgwick and
Exactly.
TNT. And
This is a man who has grown up, seen other band leaders, seen their career paths, and planned ahead.
Yes.
That's what this man has done.
I'm putting only my name on this because
just-
if anything goes wrong, I want to be able to ignore anybody else.
Yep. Yeah.
can't blame you.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Can't blame you. As for me,
What do you got?
a couple
anything?
of picks.
What do you got?
I finally jumped onto HBO's show Somebody Somewhere with Bridget Everett.
Yeah.
That show is fantastic.
Nice.
It's very heartfelt. It's very. It's got a lot of levels to it. It's very sweet, but it's very funny also. And she's fantastic in that show.
I'll bet.
So good. And then a little music pick. Killer Mike's new solo album is now out. It is just entitled Michael. It's so good. If you liked rap music, if you like Run the Jewels, definitely give it a spin. His solo albums usually have a few more guest spots than like the Run the Jewels albums will have,
Right.
which still have them. But he usually has them at a little bit higher clip on the solo album. So
Gotcha.
get a bunch of cool guest spots on there, which is always fun. But Killer Mike's just one of my absolute all time favorite MCs. He's always smart and keeping things poignant and making you think.
I wish he'd bring back his TV show.
Yeah.
That was
It was
really good.
interesting. Yeah.
That
I
was
bet they just
challenging,
didn't,
too.
Yeah,
It was.
Which I really appreciated.
I think that was one of the things that got killed by COVID,
Probably. Probably.
but it was good.
yeah.
So yeah, check out that Killer Mike album, and then listen to me on Maximum News. That's where you can hear me ranting and raving about politics and complaining about everything that's wrong, being the antithesis to Newsmax. And then of course, if you or anybody you know need any voiceover work or graphic design, shoot me an email, zampinoproductions.com. I'm a free agent, so give me some money.
Fragenting.
I'm fragent. Give me dollars.
All right.
Guys, thank you so much for coming. We appreciate it.
Yeah,
It's
been a
been
blast.
super fun.
Yep.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
I
thank
always
you.
enjoy being here.
Yeah, glad to
just
have you
to-
back. Kevin, we're going to have you on a few more times, try to trump the amount of times CR's been
All right,
on.
fair enough.
Yeah, you gotta hit that 5-timer club. And
Oh,
don't
wait,
forget
where's my jacket?
We don't have that kind
this
of
one
budget.
doesn't count. You're 4.5.
Oh,
Don't forget to check out the Smokey Guys on YouTube. Kevin Price and the Closers. Look out for those shows. Follow both of these guys on the social medias.
Yeah.
Follow Hilton on the things. Follow me on the things. And follow all of our wonderful shows here at olaministries.com.
See you next week.
Take it from me.